Hello, welcome to the video. I'm gonna fix my nails real quick. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're gonna be making some shrinky-dink keychains. I'm going to throw up the kind I'm using on the screen so that if you like to make this on your own, you can. First of all, we want to be drawing on the rough side of the shrinky-dink paper. If you do it on the shiny side, it is not going to work out as well. Do not cut out in the middle of your paper. Go down here to the bottom corner. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting a whole bunch and you're going to end up trying to fit a bunch of crap into different weird little crevices. I'm using a candle with a single googly eye on it to trace my shape, so you can really just use whatever random crap you grab off of your desk that's closest. I suggest doing something like a circle or a square, because if you try and do complicated shapes like stars even, the little chippy tips are gonna crack off and it's just gonna suck when you spend so much time working on it for it to break. That's not the case if you choose to do something like coat the whole piece in a strong resin though, because that'll protect it pretty darn well. So I'm going to slide a piece of white paper behind mine. The reason being, when you are sketching out, it's gonna be super hard to see your lines on a dark desk like mine. If you don't have a dark desk, then you don't have to worry about this step. Oh, now you can see how messy the shrinky-dink paper is. Listen, it's been in my desk, alright? It's fine. Everything's fine. And now you are going to watch me really mess up drawing a circle. I traced. How did I not do the circle correctly when I'm tracing? I'm apparently smacking the camera around with my head, which is great. I've just noticed, so I'm going to adjust that. Get that crumb out of here. Thank you very much. We're just gonna leave that little sprinkle though. And for today's keychain, I have decided that I am going to draw Hamtaro and Bijou. The reason is because I've been bothering one of my friends to make shrinky dinks, and I think she has a thing for anime hamsters. Now start out by looking up a reference picture for the characters you're trying to draw. Unlike me, who just kind of assumed they knew what Hamtaro looked like, and I was kinda right. But looking up a reference picture will make a huge difference if you're trying to make your keychain look like a specific series. Now I'm gonna get a little quiet while you guys just watch me finish this sketch. Now something that's really important is to make note of where you want to punch the hole for your keychain. I actually drew mine a little too close to the outside edge and that'll come back to bite me later. So go deeper in than you think you have to. In fact, if you can draw the design with the top at the edge of the paper, you can actually line your hole puncher up before you even start drawing. Then you actually know where you need to draw your hole punch hole, so that you don't draw over it and end up having to move it around or cut out a piece of heart, just for example. Now today I am using some acrylic paint markers. These are some super cheap markers I got on Amazon, but you can get them in other places and you can get them in higher quality. I'm going to throw up a little picture of a little test swatch I did of a few different things. Going from paint markers to Sharpie to nail polish to pen to pencil, just to show you that you can really use pretty much anything on shrinky dinks, but keep in mind that depending on what you use, you might end up with a different textured result. If you use nail polish or straight up acrylic paints, expect it to be a little lumpy and cracky. Something else to keep in mind is that darker colors do tend to get darker once you bake them, once it goes into a smaller size. So try not to do a design that has too many similar colors or too many dark colors. Nice light colors with sharp differences are really your best friend when it comes to these tiny designs. Shrinky dinks shrink to be about 1/3 of the size that they are when you're drawing it, so keep that in mind. Words especially will not turn out as well as you want them to. Now, if you are doing a light design like I'm recommending and like I chose to do, what that means is you're probably going to end up having to go over your light colors a few different times if you are using cheap paint markers like mine. If you are using cheap paint markers like mine, be careful, because if you try and go in for a second layer too soon, you might just end up scraping off your first layer of paint. So you either want to be careful with it or give it a little time in between each coat to dry. I am going in with my lighter colors first, specifically because if you go in with the lighter colors afterwards, you're going to end up getting the white tip of your markers covered in orange or blue or whatever, and it's just going to make the next time you use the markers suck. And don't worry if your piece is kind of looking like a weird blobby mess right now, it will come together once you re-put in those dark black lines to separate out the piece and give it a shape. See, it cleans up pretty nice. Now, I chose to do a clear background with just a couple little hearts, and the reason is because I just kind of like how it looks to have solid silhouetted characters when the light shines on your keychain. But if you decide to do a solid background, make sure that you let your characters completely dry, otherwise you're just going to end up smudging your paint around. Unless you're using a pencil, in which case ignore this warning. Now we're going to cut out our piece and take a little too long cutting out the little plastic by the hamster butt. Perfect, there we go. Go back over with your eraser and just get rid of your pencil lines. Now, if you're new to this or you're using a water-based marker like I am that's easy to erase off, you're probably not going to want to erase these pieces right up next to your character. So what I do instead is I thicken the line with some black just to make it look more finished and clean. You can use any color, but I think black looks really good. Now here's the point when I realize that I cannot find my normal hole puncher, so I use a little paw print one I have from work instead. This is going to be harder to hole punch than a piece of paper because it is a thick plastic sheet, so you might have to set it on the ground and stomp on it. And there you go! Now we have a cute little Hamtaro keychain, or whatever character you chose to make. If you did decide to use this and make keychains alongside me, that's freaking fantastic. I would love to see what you end up making, and you can send it to me on Twitter at CaseyMcDang. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and keep on drawing. Bye bye, guys!